I have an equal partner, but it wasn't always this way, right? About 2 years ago, I came to my husband and I was like, I am either going to get a divorce or something has to change because the inequities in this house are too vast and I don't want to live this way. And at the time, we had a 3-month-old baby, a like just over 18-month-old daughter. We had a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old. So we had 4 kids that were all under 5 years old or 5 and under. And I was drowning. I was drowning in the laundry and the kids' schooling and the food and just everything. I was drowning. And he got invited to a golf trip that summer and he asked me if he could go. And I was like, yeah, I don't care. That's fine. Go. Just let me know so I know the details. And he didn't have the dates or any of that. And so he never came back to me. He never told me the details. He never said anything. So I assumed it just wasn't happening. Well, 2 days before the golf trip, my girlfriends and I are in a group chat. It was all their husbands going. And they're like, oh, what are you guys doing this weekend with the guys gone? And I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Well, it turns out he forgot to tell me the dates of the golf trip, right? So on 2 days' notice, he told me that he was going on this golf trip and I was pissed. And I wasn't pissed that he was going on the golf trip. I was just pissed that I didn't have any notice, that I couldn't plan appropriately. We had soccer and gymnastics and all these things we had to do. And I hadn't intended to do them like by myself. And I remember him being like, well, then I'm just not going to go. Well, I'm just not going to go. And I was like, I'm not asking you not to go. I'm giving you feedback that you not telling me, you not putting it on the calendar, and you not thinking about how that was going to impact my life and weekend is really frustrating. And I don't appreciate it, right? And I remember saying to him, I was like, it's not even about you going. It's about the fact that when you go, you've now left me by myself with the kids unprepared, right? I didn't realize that I was now going to have to go grocery shopping with 4 kids, 5 and under. I didn't realize I was going to have to do these things. I would have planned differently if I had known. And so I remember we had obviously a very large fight about this because I was feeling as though he just didn't see me or appreciate me in my time. And he was feeling like confused as to why I was upset. At this time, we still really hadn't worked through like what it looked like to be equal partners. And so the reason I'm thinking about this is because this weekend, my husband is gone on a boys' trip for a bachelor party. So he just left this morning and he'll be back, I don't know, sometime in a couple of days. And because he's gone, he knew that I would need advance notice, which he gave me. He added it to the calendar. And before he left, he did a few things. He grocery shopped and put everything away. He did 2 loads of laundry last night, his laundry and one of the kids' laundry, which was great. He helped me this morning, so he's going to be gone all weekend, so he let me sleep in this morning, which was amazing. He stayed late enough to help me take the girls to gymnastics because he knows that it's hard to take 3 girls to gymnastics while our son is there and can't like participate. And so he kept our son while I went to gymnastics. And then he prepped lunch before he left. And so when I came home from my son's activity, lunch was already ready and all I had to do was dive in and feed the kids. And so things have come a very long way. And none of these things, I didn't ask him to do any of these things. He did these things because he knows that it's helpful to do these things when he's going to be gone, because when you're by yourself with 4 kids, everything's just a little bit harder. So he wanted to take a load off my plate, our home's plate, so that way the weekend would go smoother. And so that is a huge difference from what we had a few years ago, right? Our life looks very, very different. And it took a long time to get here. But I didn't ask him. I didn't even think about those things. He just did them because he wanted to and because he's an equal partner. And it's not his fault that before he wasn't, right? We both fell into this gender norm trap where I took on everything as a mom and he really focused on like work as his priority and just like being physically present, which was more than most of it, like his dad or his dad's generation did. And so, we've come a long way. All that's to say, we've come a long way. Having an equal partner is vastly improved from having a really inequitable relationship like we did before.